Hey guys, it's Laura. If you don't know, I am Chris's girlfriend, and this is my entry for the vlog that I'm kind of doing with my dad on Chris's Christmas present. So Chris and I landed in Kuwait maybe 3 hours ago. It was a massive journey, like a whole day just to get here, and we're spending 3 days at the IGN convention. So all up, we're away for 6 days. My dad is a very talented tradesman. He's an electrician by trade, but is like amazing at everything. Carpentry, plumbing, you name it, he does everything. He's renovated my house by himself, and my Christmas present to Chris is having his whole garage workspace renovated so that when we get back from Kuwait, it's a big surprise. So he's staying in a separate room, and I thought I would update you. My dad is vlogging whilst he renovates, and he has no idea. So he will be getting the present early when we get back, and he thinks that it's going to be after Christmas, and it's a piece of art. So he's so wrong and off the beaten track. It's going to be fantastic. So I hope you enjoy this video and snippets, and yeah.
Hey geeks and geekettes, what's up? Guess what? I'm in Cosplay Chris's workshop, and he has no idea I'm here. He is in an aeroplane on the way to Kuwait in the Middle East with infamous Harley Quinn, aka Laura Gilbert. Background is, I'm very fortunate and proud to say that Laura is my daughter. Chris has no idea that I am going to pimp his ride. This workshop is going to be transformed over the next 5 days for a surprise reveal for Chris. So stay with me, enjoy the ride. And the reason I'm doing it is because Chris is an absolute gentleman, and he treats my daughter with respect and a lot of thoughtfulness, and I thank him for that. But boy, is he going to get a surprise. Okay, so the workshop at the moment is just a timber frame with asbestos sheeting on the outside, which was used a lot in Australia. So I'm either going for plywood or gyprock. I'm not quite sure at the moment. So first of all, we're going to get everything out. We're just going to completely gut the place and then get a pen and paper and work out what we can do. So I'm thinking a massive workbench from here all the way down to the end, with a storage shelf underneath it, shelving up high, a ceiling up here with some fantastic LED downlights. I'm putting in a spray booth with a commercial extraction fan. Where that's going, we haven't worked that out yet. Big job, clock is ticking. We have 5 days, and Cosplay Chris has no idea we're doing this. We are so gonna pimp this ride. First stage of the job, clear everything out. It's amazing what we're finding in this workshop. Can't believe it. And as we're cleaning out the workshop, there's lots of interesting things we find. That's a little bit of artwork right there. It's fantastic. Blue blade. I can use that to cut up my dinner with. Templates, measurements, and receipts. Oh, I bet Cosplay Chris didn't want me to find that. You beauty! So in Cosplay Chris's workshop, he also has possums. There's a baby possum on the left, a ringtail, and the mother on the right. They're nocturnal, so they're sleeping, and you find them all up and down the eastern seaboard of Australia. Okay, here's an update. Cosplay Chris and infamous Laura Gilbert are above the Indian Ocean, just past Christmas Island. They're about 7 hours into their flight to Dubai. They're going to change flights at Dubai to Kuwait. So the workshop job is going great, and They're 35,000 feet in the air, and still Cosplay Chris has no idea. That's the way we like it. So yeah, they're just past Christmas Island on the Indian Ocean, and we have the workshop pretty much cleaned out. All I have to do now is to get rid of this old bench, and then it's done. Okay, geeks and geekettes, workshop is empty. Okay, I'm going to high pressure water blast the bricks and the floor, clean it all up. This fibro paneling I'll remove and replace on the outside. I'm going to bring it up to this post here and then line it on the inside all the way down. A spray booth is going here with a commercial exhaust fan on a speed controller, so Cosplay Chris can use spray paint inside without fumes affecting him, and a workbench all the way down, shelvage underneath the workbench all the way back, 2 small shelves all the way down except for in the middle, and that's going to be a surprise for you. Pride of place, it's the icing on the cake right in the middle. Okay, well, day 1, the schedule I have is 6 days, and we're on schedule. Like any job you undertake, you need the right tools for the job. Okay, still day 1. I'm at big home hardware store getting some timber and some drywall gyprock. Okay, I've got the timber framing, timber loaded on the trailer. The blue colour is a benign copper arsenic to stop termites, and it's going to be used for framing for the workbench and for the spray booth. Here we have particle floorboarding, which is going to be ideal for the workbench. I've got 4 sheets loaded on the trailer, 1 more to go. And boy, are they heavy. Okay, so I'm loading gyprock. In Australia, that's what we call it. Some countries call it drywall. So it's a compressed plaster sheeting with cardboard, and that's going to be the back wall behind the new workbench, and a bit of the ceiling for some really good LED downlights. Okay, we have the gyprock, aka drywall, on the trailer. Still have to get more stuff. Okay, so I've got everything loaded, tied down. I've got other stuff for the job. Screws, paint, liquid nails, gyprock, drywall, stud adhesive. I am ready to go. And good morning, geeks and geekettes. We are on day 2 of Cosplay Chris's workshop makeover. We've been to the home hardware last night. Today we're starting on the timber framing for the spray booth, some electrical cabling rough-in, and hopefully we're putting some gyprock drywall up. Massive day today, huge day. Doesn't look like rain, and Cosplay Chris is in Kuwait on the other side of the world. Okay, this old nib wall is not in a good shape. Really loose. It's not connected to the concrete slab. The water capping is not the great, and I want to extend the wall out to this post, all for the new spray booth. So we're going to remove this, put in a new timber frame. I've got compressed cement sheeting for the outside. I'm going to have to do a bit of work on this brick nib down here. And the spray booth is going here. I'm really tempted to start putting gyprock drywall all on the back wall so it looks great straight away, but I've learned in the building industry it's probably best to do the hard jobs, the tricky jobs that you don't get much instant gratification from first, and then the job flows better. Chris, my friend, I need to put a water membrane on top of the bricks before the timber base plate. One of the few things I didn't get from Bunnings. So what I found in your materials when we cleared out your workshop was this fantastic PVC rubber. So mate, I'm using it. Sorry, that's where it is going. It's great. Hey geeks and geekettes, this is a gecko lizard found in Australia. They're amazing. They can change their skin colour depending on their background for camouflage. They're amazing climbers. They can actually stick horizontally upside down. Let's see. So I'll have to be careful of this little guy, and before I put the gyprock drywall up, I'll have to make sure that he's put in the bush or forest unharmed. And just, if you look at his tail, it's growing. He's growing a new one. So if a bird or an animal tries to eat them, they'll drop a tail and it wiggles for a defense mechanism. Okay, update. This old garage, and it is an old garage, it's probably 60 years old. So there's an old saying, you can't make a silk purse out of a pig's ear. So we're going to do our best though. Now it's got this diagonal bracing, but it's sitting proud of the other timber, so the drywall gyprock won't sit flat. So what I have to do is replace it with this galvanized strapping, and then I put flat clouts on. The gyprock drywall will sit flat, especially if I put some stud adhesive either side, top and bottom. Then you put this fantastic tightener on, and you tighten it up with the wing nut, and you can see that the strap has tightened. You fasten the top and the bottom, and then you put the tightener on, and once it's tight, you then put the clouts in the middle. And you can see it's... I have a career in the music industry, and my friend, the gecko lizard, is still with me. So don't worry, I'll look after him. Okay, day 2 update. I'm trying to finish off the framing for the outside wall and spray booth. The old garage is way out of alignment. You can see that post leaning to the right. The other back wall post is out, so that takes just a little bit extra time. I've put rubber PVC water membranes under the timber to stop the moisture coming through from the concrete slab. We have to make a little walkway up the top for the ringtail possums. That's how they get in to the garage at night. Is up through there. You can see the black little thing on the wood. So I'm going to make a little gantry plank for them to walk through, but I'll block them off from sleeping on top of the spray booth, because it'll be luxury for them, but they can go back to their little home in the corner. So lots of work on this framing. A little bit behind, but I love a challenge. Hi, Workshop Blitz update. I thought I had 6 days. There's been a kerfuffle with the schedules, etc., etc. And Cosplay Chris and infamous Laura Gilbert might be back in 5 days. It really tightens up the deadline, and I'm going to have to pull out all the stops to get this done. Anyway, we can deal with that. Now, first piece of gyprock or drywall going up, and that's stud adhesive. It's a blue non-toxic glue that you put on the timber, and off we go. Still day 2, and the first bit of gyprock drywall went up. Now that's a little tunnel for the ringtail possums to walk through and get in and out of the garage, and that's at the back of the spray booth. I'm just about to start gyprock drywall on the spray booth. I have to do the electrical cable rough in, a little setback. I thought I had 6 days, I now only have 5. So Cosplay Chris and infamous Laura Gilbert, their flight schedule was wrong, and that was from Kuwait. They stuffed it up. So now I have 5 days instead of 6. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. Here's a little trick of the trade. When you're putting up gyprock or drywall, once the gyprock goes up, you can't see the timber that you're screwing into. So you just mark and then put a cross in the middle of your 2 lines, and you know you've got timber from there to screw into. Okay, stud adhesive, it's a glue. Screws hold it up, but the glue really helps. Yeah, baby! First gyprock drywall up. Yeah. Okay, update time. New villa board, which is compressed cement sheeting, has been installed on the outside. The old piece was cracked. And on the inside, I'm ready for the gyprock drywall. Starting to get ahead now. This is a timber frame for the spray booth extraction fan. I'm just starting on the electrics. Great news, I am a licensed electrical contractor in the state of New South Wales, Australia. So no problems. We shall be good. I've taken the old fluorescent light down in the garage roof there. There's going to be drywall gyprock ceiling up here with the new LED downlights. So probably 1 hour's time it's going to get dark. I'm going to rough the electrical cables in tonight, and then tomorrow it is gyprock drywall city. I am just going to go like a machine because I've only got 5 days minus 2 days. So tomorrow, day 3, it's all downhill fast. Good morning, geeks and geekettes. Day 3 of the Chris Cosplay workshop, Pimping It Up makeover. They're in Kuwait, infamous Laura Gilbert and Cosplay Chris, and it's going great. By all accounts, they are doing well over there. Everything's great. So today, day 3, I'm hoping for gyprock and drywall all up on this back wall, and to put it up on the spray booth. Last night I did the electrical wiring rough in, which went well. The reason I've got the power cable, which is a 2.5mm cross-sectional area copper multi-stranded, up and over these joists. With old construction like this, I don't like drilling holes through it and weakening the timbers if I can avoid it. So the cable goes up and over. The gyprock drywall will cover that and no one will see it. He's going to have a lot of LED downlights, but I'll put a dimmer on them so he can crank the lighting level down if he wishes. And another big day, so it was 6 AM till 8 PM last night with a 10-minute lunch break, so that's 14 hours on the go, and back into it at 6 AM. And a bit of collateral damage. I put my hammer up on top of a tall ladder, moved the ladder, and the ladder fell. I caught the hammer with my forehead. I will show you a still of the injury. But even after nearly 35 years on tools, you still, you know, cut your hand or get a little injury now and again. Here is the spray booth exhaust fan. I had to do a little nib frame because this beast, this exhaust fan is completely steel with steel ball bearings. It's a commercial rated baby and it is going to suck it. So I had to build that out. I'll box that out. Anyway, have a look at my forehead. He gets blood and sweat, but he's not going to get my tears. On day 2, I spent a few hours extra building this little entry and exit tunnel for the brushtail possums. This is the normal way they would get in and out, and they would just walk along the top here. So the drywall will come up to here and stop. I was going to go all the way up the top, but then they would have no place to walk along, and they sleep during the day right up the end there. So drywall stops here. I have constructed a tunnel for them to go in and out. We don't want them to start sleeping. Man, that is a beautiful big king size bed for them, but we don't want them sleeping on top of the spray booth. And then I put in some blockers at the end to stop that. So that took a couple of hours, but it's worth it because Cosplay Chris's workshop is their home, and they can still live here. Okay, day 3 progress update. I've just put in these noggins up on the ceiling joists, and that will allow the gyprock to join. It's slash drywall, 1200 millimeters wide, and for everyone in America with inches, tough luck, work it out. Okay, also up here with the termite treated plantation radiator pine timber. So the 1200 millimeter wide piece of gyprock will sit that wide, and then the next one down here, and I'll have to do another run of noggins. Just the size of the gyprock drywall from the home hardware depot, I couldn't run it this way. And wait till you see this. This red and black machine is a gyprock drywall lifter. Now I'm just about to get that set up, and boy, right tool for the job. Okay, this is all set up now. So you lay the gyprock on the side here. It's held there. I'll just pan out for you. It's on wheels. So you lay your gyprock down and you lay it flat, and then you crank it up. Now I can lift the gyprock drywall all the way up one man. Now without this, I could not do it. Great little machine. Okay, we've put the blue coloured stud adhesive on all the timber that the gyprock goes up on, and then this fantastic machine will lift it up for me, and I'll put this piece up one person. There's only one way on this job, and that is up. Wingardium Leviosa. That's what I'm talking about. First ceiling sheet up. Yeah, baby. Progress report. Day 3, and all the ceiling is up. So now I have to measure and drill out for the downlights, and then gyprock the back wall this afternoon and the internal walls of the spray booth. And that has to happen today, and I really have to try and get the plastering done of all the joins and seams and the screw heads. Otherwise I fall behind. I've got the gyprock up in the spray booth. I need to set. I've got the first piece of gyprock up where the workbench will go. I'm just taking off this old timber diagonal brace, and I'll put a galvanized strap with a tensioner on it and then keep going with the gyprock tonight. I was hoping to have the gyprock finished today, but oh well. Another big day tomorrow. So anyway, we're getting progress. We're moving forward. Fatigue is kicking in. This is my third 14-hour day in a row, but when the going gets tough, the tough get going. I've just pulled the old timber diagonal bracing off. I've just put on a new galvanized strap. It's got a tensioner that you put in. Now I'll put clouts into the timbers. And then I will put another piece of gyprock drywall up behind the new Cosplay Chris workbench. Woo! Getting there, slowly but surely. Clock is ticking. I've got 3 more days. Lucky, my middle name is Challenge. Good morning, geeks and geekettes. Day 4 workshop makeover update. I'm running behind. I wanted to have more gyprock up. I wanted the gyprock finished and plaster set yesterday. So I went till about 9 o'clock last night. Okay, I did get the electrical lighting circuit going. I've put 3 of the 10 watt LED lights up last night. Fantastic lighting. So Cosplay Chris won't have an issue about lighting. So today, finish the gyprock. Finish. Plaster set. So where there's 2 pieces of gyprock joined, I put an adhesive nylon netting tape and then apply plaster. Same with the spray booth. I have to put a bit of gyprock on the front here, and then I'll get a 90-degree metal corner mesh. I staple that and then plaster that in. So I have to get the plaster set, and I really need to start painting this afternoon tonight. Clock is ticking. I have 3 more days and I've got the workbench to do, and that is a massive job. Okay, geeks and geekettes, day 4 update. It's midday. All the gyprock / drywall is up. Yay! Finito. Now I have to plaster set the joins and the screw heads, and then we're painting. So the clock's ticking. We've only got this afternoon, tonight, and tomorrow, and half a day. So less than 2 days. Day 4, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I've put on this metal corner track, and you put it on with industrial metal staples, and then you plaster set up and you get a really nice edge with the metal bead at the front. And then across the top of the spray booth, I've got the adhesive netting on the joins ready to plaster. So ready to mix up the plaster and get setting. Cosplay Chris's workshop makeover update, still day 4. I've finished plaster setting all the gyprock drywall, just waiting for it to dry. 2 base coats. I don't have time for a topping compound that takes 24 hours to dry, but it's ready for painting. Clock's ticking, 1.5 days to go. Okay, still day 4, just starting to get dark. Waiting for the plaster to dry to paint. I've set up my laser, which has put a laser line across the back wall at 1 meter 1100 millimeters off the floor. It automatically levels itself because the driveway is sloping back, and I've marked my power points for the workbench. You might just be able to see that faint red line with the laser, and that way all the power points
will be exactly level. So they're a really great device. And as you can see, you can change it for straight up and down. So it automatically levels itself up on the ceiling as well. Fantastic tool.
Good morning, geeks and geekettes. Day 5 on Cosplay Chris Workshop Makeover. Their itinerary to return from Kuwait has changed so many times. I didn't think I'd be able to get the workbench in, but now I've got an extra day up my sleeve. I've just started painting. So we have a gyprock drywall primer that's going up. So that's going up, then electrical fit out, and then workbench. Busy day. Okay, geeks and geekettes, day 5, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, progress report. I've just fitted off the electricals, except for the exhaust fan in the spray booth. That's happening now. You're getting a bit of flickering in the camera from the frequency of the LED downlights because I put in a dimmer. Cool. Okay, Cosplay Chris will not be short of PowerPoints. Okay, so he's got a light switch here, dimmer. Oh, another PowerPoint. Where did that come from? In here, single downlight for the spray booth, and then he's going to have a motor speed control for the heavy duty commercial rated exhaust fan, and it looks pretty good from a distance too now. So it's starting to really come together now, and the great news is their crazy flight schedules have been changed so many times. It's now definite they're staying an extra night in Kuwait. They're going for a camel ride, a little bit of sightseeing, and that just really opens it up for me. And then you can see the possum hole there, and then they can walk along the top of the back wall, and then there's the possum hole up the top, the black square hole, and that goes outside. Okay, geeks and geekettes, day 5, late afternoon update, spray booth. Oh yeah! Now, the back wall looks sensational, but it's missing something. I know. Wow, doesn't that wall look good? Okay, day 5 in the afternoon. Timber framing's done, gyprocking, plastering, electrical, painting, sign writing. The only thing left is the super workbench from there down to here. They fly back in tomorrow evening at 10:30. I've only got tomorrow for the workbench. I have run out of petrol in my tank. Can I do it? I've got 1 day to go. Let's find out. Workshop update, day 5, 8 p.m, another 14-hour day. I've just knocked up most of the workbench frame, and then tomorrow, last day, I'll put the workbench top on, and then there's what a sexy leg, another shelf going under there. So that's happening tomorrow, and then a big pack up. We have to get this whole place organized for the big reveal, get cameras set up, and then we're going to surprise him with his pimped ride. And good morning, geeks and geekettes. Day 6 on Cosplay Chris's workshop makeover. Going well, one more day. Cosplay Chris and infamous Laura Gilbert get in from Dubai at 10:30 p.m. tonight. It's now about 7 a.m. last day, and it's going to happen. All I have to do is finish the workbench and the spray booth bench and then do a big cleanup, and then they'll go to Laura's house from the airport, and then tomorrow from midday onwards they'll turn up here. We're going to have the GoPro camera set up. I'll be filming off my iPhone 8 for the big reveal, and hopefully he won't have a heart attack. So day 6, 7 a.m. again. I nearly finished the workbench frame last night. I still have to do some support for the bottom shelf at the back, and then for the spray booth I have to do a shelf in there. All achievable in one day. Spray booth bench top framing up in record time. I use 100mm galvanized coach screws that go into the timber frame. This sucker ain't falling down. Workbench and spray booth bench tops is going to be a 19mm compressed particle floorboarding, extremely strong and easy to work with. Cut it to size, pop it down, put some liquid adhesive nails and then screw it down. Rock solid. Okay, spray booth finished. We've got the commercial rated exhaust fan and Cosplay Chris's Lazy Susan spray table. He's gonna love it. Day 6 update. Workbench framing complete. Now I measure and cut the workbench and the shelf underneath. Running out of time. Every second counts. Okay, the clock is ticking. There's only seconds away. I couldn't finish the job. I had to bring in a specialised engineer to put on the Go Fast yellow strip. And here they are. They've just flown in from Sweden, from the IKEA University, and they're putting in the yellow strip. Don't try this at home, kids. This is extremely advanced and very technical. What a fantastic job. Thank you. Brilliant, thank you. Hey geeks and geekettes, day 6, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They'll be flying back in and the workshop bench is done and looking good. Shelves are in and looking good. Hey, who's that? That's Cosplay Chris. Oh, isn't he cute? Let's check out the spray booth. Bench in. Oh, who's that? Baby Cosplay Chris. Let's zoom in. Oh, isn't he cute? Hey geeks and geekettes, there's Cosplay Chris. And see there, he doesn't have any teeth. And look, he doesn't have any teeth in this photo either. Day 6, and we're finished. I've just put the icing on the cake, which is a whiteboard, and there's a message on it from infamous Laura Gilbert to Chris. So this is a birthday / Christmas present from Laura to Chris. And as I said in my very first vlog, I'm really happy that Chris is my daughter's boyfriend. He's a true gentleman and he treats her with respect and he's very thoughtful. So Chris, well deserved mate, enjoy your new workshop. And stay tuned for the big reveal tomorrow. I'll be wearing my Sunday best, my finest, and we're gonna shock the pants off him with a surprise reveal. Hey, geeks and geekettes. I was going to put a toilet in, but I've just run out of time. Good morning, geeks and geekettes. Day 7. Workshop is finished. I had a sleep in, and now it's 10 AM. Cosplay Chris, infamous Laura Gilbert, should be back in about 2 hours. I'm going to throw a few balloons and streamers up. We've got the GoPro ready. I'll be videoing on my iPhone 8. And the surprise is still on. Stay tuned.
Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck's What's going on? Oh my god! Oh my fucking god! What the hell?
Merry Christmas.
What? What? What the hell? Who is that?
It's Jason.
Oh my
That's
god!
John Burke.
Oh my god! What the hell?
What do you think?
Oh my god! Is this it? Is it?
Merry Christmas.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my Dad! You did this!
Dad did.
Oh my god!
Surprise!
James!
We were in the car and we were chatting, and I said, "Oh, I'm terrible at surprises." And
Oh my god! Oh yeah!
Have you waited?
go.
Oh my god!
Okay, I thought it was fun. Yay!
I now pronounce this the new Cosplay Chris workshop.
Oh, we got a gecko in the house as well to help celebrate. Thank you.
Yay!
What is happening, my fellow geeks and geekettes? I hope you guys enjoyed that very educational and hilarious vlog from Mr. Jason Gilbert, the man himself. So, with all that being said, I thought I'd give you guys the grand up-close tour of my newly renovated workshop. Now, firstly, a massive thank you to my beautiful other half, Laura, for coming up with this brilliant and unique idea, and of course her amazing dad Jason for look at this, just all this hard work. It's crazy, absolutely crazy, so unexpected. I had no idea what Laura and Jace were up to. Well played. So Laura and I got back from Kuwait on Monday night. Originally I was going to do a wrap-up video on Kuwait, but that can Kuwait. Yeah. So there is work that still needs to be done on the workshop, but all in good time. So what I'm going to do is give you guys a grand up-close tour, show you different things, new features, and where I want to put everything, because I've got so much room I can have different departments. It's crazy, it's mind-boggling. I'm not used to this much space and this much fresh light coming into a workshop, because you think about it, before I was working in a dungeon and it drove Laura crazy. So what I'm going to do is flip the microphone around and then give you guys a grand tour. Okay, so stepping back, here is the bulk of the workshop. So as you can see here, this is still material for a bench that Jason and I are going to put all the way to the end there. So over here is going to be a storage area for suitcases, travel stuff, blankets, and all that jazz. I'm thinking where the beams are can be different departments. So I'm thinking over here, oh, she's the best. I'm thinking over here, the fine details area where I do fine hand painting. If you guys notice here, these are the half-scale Justice League cows that I will be bringing out shortly. This is the prototype. So this is the completed prototype with the cape panels and everything. There is a urethane copy in there, which is actually Laura's. It's the only urethane copy I'm going to be doing because urethane is a punish to work with. So as far as I'm concerned, this is going to be the fine detailing area because I've got my hand paints on the shelves there. As you guys know, this is the painting booth. I love this part. It's beautiful. So I've got to put Freddy back in the rumpus room. This is a TV and DVD player that I'm going to be putting somewhere towards the end where it's, you know, going to attract a lot less dust. Because obviously you're going to have spray dust here. When I put the bench grinder here, because I will have it optional, I might put another shelving unit under here to store the bench grinder, some paints. Jace has also put in a hook that I can hang stuff on, so it does a full 360, so I can hang stuff that I want to paint, hang it on a string or wire. Actually, if you come along here, this was actually designed by my mate Jeremy, Sentinel Cosplay. He made this for me because I repaired his Batfleck cow. It's a Pirate Batman dagger. How cool is that? So this eventually will be a video in itself on how to prep the 3D file and paint it. I've also got some kryptonite there, look at that. And you guys know all these props here. Now in terms of mold storage, look at all this. I can store all my molds under here in the same place, keep them high off the ground from any moisture or water, because when it does rain here, like torrential rain, it does tend to flood at the bottom here, especially over here. It did actually bucket down the other morning and I got really worried. I was worried that this was gonna get damaged, but Jason and I eventually are going to replace this guttering here, because you can see it's just starting to just decay and rust, and it's not good. It just all leaks through here when it rains, and it's not ideal. So if we come along here, obviously we've still got to put a bench all the way to the end. I'm thinking this is going to be, you know, maybe I'm going to put a bar fridge here. I'm going to have these stools over here. I want this to be an area where people can hang out as well as a working area, and just have fun, because this is a wonderland, you know. We're making stuff here, we're making fun stuff. This is the foreman. Hello, you up? You just woke up, look at those eyes. You look like the Justice League, Cal. So yeah, I'm thinking a recreational area here, just with memorabilia on the wall. Over here, I'm thinking our casting, molding area, you know, with the scales and all resins, stuff like that. Over here, this is going to be the centerpiece for my videos. This is officially the new backdrop for my videos. So I'll be sitting here with my logo. I'm going to be putting photos around my logo, stuff that matters most to me in my life. You know, obviously, Laura, myself, my family, my friends, bits of memorabilia, just cool, fun stuff. So this just makes it even more amazing, because everything's here. I can film here, I can work here instead of going back and forth to my bedroom. And the lighting here is just brilliant with these LED downlights instead of carting around my studio lights. It just makes life so much more easier. Now this is a box of spray paint that I will be using. I did have a massive cull and get rid of a lot of spray paints that I won't be using anymore, or they've just sat there for too long. And it pretty much dried up in the can. These are some silicons and resins and urethanes that I can still get good use out of. I did throw out a lot that just were dregs by the end of it, and they've dried up in their containers. Just got some wax, grease remover, just thinners and everything for cleaning stuff. So these will eventually be stored wherever I feel it's appropriate once Jason and I get the rest of the bench built. Now here's everything that is going to be going to the tip tomorrow. So I'm going to be doing a massive trip to the tip. That rhymes. So yeah, it was just a massive cull of everything, because there is stuff that I've just accumulated that I don't really need, and it just makes for more space, you know. I do want to get some stuff from Bunnings, like new filing, little filing drawers for tool bits, like for my Dremel, rivets, everything. Just have everything catalogued nice and neat, so I know exactly where it is and where to get it. So guys, that is pretty much it. Again, I'm still at a loss for words and trying to process the sheer epicness and generosity of Laura and Jason. It's just no words required. So I actually have put a freeze on my Etsy store at the moment in terms of new orders, just until everything's taken care of here, because I don't want to rush this and then rush orders. I do have 4 outstanding orders at the moment, which I do still have a time frame in which I can make them and ship them out on time. So I've got 2 half-scale mech helmets, a fully wearable mech helmet, and a urethane Batfleck belt kit that still need to be made. But I'm not worried, plenty of time to get those done. So if you are watching this and you have ordered those items, don't worry, I will get it done for you. So guys, thank you so much for watching this very, very special episode of Cosplay Chris, driven by the amazing Jason Gilbert. I learned a lot going through all the footage that Jason filmed. Because, you know, I try to be a jack of all trades, and I try and learn as much as possible about building in general, whether it be sculpting, molding, casting, right up to carpentry, sparky work, plumbing work, and it was great. It was really fun to watch, and it helps when you have an entertaining host. Again, a massive thank you to my gorgeous other half, Laura, and her gorgeous dad, Jason. This is just absolutely brilliant. And there will be another video once the workshop is fully complete and give you guys the full tour and experience. So thanks very much for watching, guys. I will have my Kuwait wrap-up video next week. I am still a little bit jet lagged, so is Laura. We are slowly getting back into the swing of things, even though we should be winding down because it's nearly Christmas time, but no rest for the wicked. Guys, have yourselves a cracker of a weekend. I hope you're well, hope you're happy, be merry, be silly, and until next time, geeks, please always remember, cosplayers do it best.